Hello everyone and welcome back, my Lunanites. So we're gonna kick off our color review series with white. We're gonna take a look at all of the white cards from the Marvel Superhero set to check out some of the strongest picks, maybe some hidden gems, and maybe even find a few cards that deserve more attention than they're getting. So whether you're looking for a new deck or curious about the new set, or just want to hang out with me and talk about magic, you're in the right place. So get comfy and let's see what white has to offer. So starting off with Helicarrier Strike. It's an instant spell with Teamwork 2. Helicarrier Strike deals 2 damage to a target attacking or blocking creature. If this spell was cast using Teamwork, it deals 4 damage to that creature instead. So Teamwork is a new keyword in the superhero set, and as an additional cost to casting the spell, you can tap any number of creatures you control with the power of whatever that Teamwork number is. So in this scenario, if you have a creature with 2 attack, you can tap that creature, and now you activate a special effect for it. Seems kind of useful. It seems like it's splashable. You could probably use it in a lot of decks. Then we have Political Triumph, which sports the picture of the Kingpin Fisk from I was gonna say Devil May Cry, but I mean Daredevil. So it's an enchantment, but it's also a plan. When a creature you control enters, scry 1 and put a plan counter on this enchantment. When the 4th plan counter is put on this enchantment, sacrifice it, draw a card, and put +1 counter on each creature you control. So the idea is like, you probably want to use this early, and then as you put a lot of tokens on the board, they'll eventually get a +1 counter after 4 turns. This is a very hard card to use. I think the problem is that it literally takes 4 turns to eventually come out with an effect, but in the event that it does, it pays off really well. How good it is really depends on how soon you get this card in your hand, you know? I would give this maybe a 3 out of 5. Now, the Agent of Atlas, it's a human spy hero with prowess, and it's 2/2. I think it's kind of rare to find a white card with prowess, and they have such a basic stat line that it doesn't seem like much, but I do find them quite strong, typically. So I'll give this a 4 out of 5. Agent Phil Coulson, legendary creature, human spy hero. He has vigilance, because just like in the show, he's always ready. And then he can tap himself to add a +1/+1 counter on each other hero you control. If you compare him with the other 2-cost legendary creatures, or just generally 2-cost creatures that add counters, he's a bit slow because you actually have to wait 1 turn and then you can add the counter. But he does have a better payoff in the long term because he can add a counter to all of the heroes you control. So if you happen to have like 2 of them, it'll pay off really well. Or even 5 of them. I would say I would give him, I think, a 4 out of 5. Then you have Brave Brawler, which is a 2-cost human warrior hero. with lifelink. You can also power up and put 2 counters on the creature. So I find that typically the power up creatures are not so good for standard, but they're really good for quick draft. So I could probably see Brave Brawler being used more often in quick draft mode, or any draft mode. I give him 3 out of 5. So next one, Colleen Wing, Street Samurai. It's a 2-cost white mana, white colorless, human samurai hero. Whenever you cast a spell that targets a creature you control, put a +1/+1 counter on Colleen Wing, and then scry 1. So white has a lot of spells and instants that kind of just target and buff monsters that you have. I think this is a really good potential card. And, you know, there's several strategies with white. You can go wide or you can go tall. If you go wide, you have a board of lots of tokens. If you go tall, you have like one monster that does like 20 damage on one hit. I think Colleen is a good candidate for that. So, yeah, I think that's a good one. I give her 4 out of 5. Then we have Take Up the Shield, a 2-cost instant. Put a counter on target creature. It gains lifelink and indestructible until end of turn. This type of card, like, it's always really good in quick draft. It catches people off guard. That's the truth, really. And sometimes it can really save you because of that lifelink and indestructible. The fact that it lets you put lifelink on any monster while it's attacking is really useful. And it only costs 2 mana, so it's quite splashable. You can use it with a lot of your other colors. I give that 4 out of 5. Then we have the Mind Stone, a 2-cost legendary artifact, Infinity Stone. It is indestructible, and when you play it, you can tap it to add 1 white mana. With cost of 6, you can harvest the Mind Stone, and when you harvest it, there's an infinite symbol, and it says, at the beginning of your end step, exile up to 1 other target non-land permanent you control, and then return it to the battlefield under the owner's control. So you can recycle a lot of like the enter the battlefield abilities with that. It's a really good, and for its cost, it's a really nice. This will actually see a lot of use in commander decks because a lot of people use a card called Signet Stone in that one. And this is basically like the Plains version of that with extra added effects. So this is really good. It'll see a lot of use. I would say 5 out of 5. Then we have Agents of Shield. It's a 3-cost human spy hero. Whenever a creature you control attacks alone, that creature gains +1/+1 until end of turn. So, let's see. Whenever a creature attacks alone, it gets +1/+1 end of turn. So, that kind of builds up the samurai, doesn't it? In a way. For its stats, it's actually quite good because it has 2 attack and 4 toughness. So, it's quite durable, and you probably will get some use out of it, just the block. I would still put this probably 2 out of 5. Only because you have to attack alone for the ability to work. So 2 out of 5. Next, this is the one that everyone's waiting for. Captain America, Super Soldier. He's a legendary creature with human soldier hero. He has first strike. Captain America answers the shield with a counter on him. As long as Captain America has a shield counter on him, you and other heroes you control have hexproof. So he protects all of the heroes. He also protects your life bar or your life points. I would say he is 5 out of 5. This is an incredibly good card. I'm actually surprised they put him as a mythic, because if you have a deck, I would say you would have 4 of him, definitely. And you can do a very aggressive aggro build with him. 5 out of 5 card, definitely. Then we have Captain America, Wings of Freedom. So this is a different Captain America. This is the latest movie. He is 3 costs, legendary creature, human soldier hero. Because his name is different, you can still have both, by the way, on the board. So he's actually really good too. He has flying, first strike, and ward 1. Whenever Captain America attacks, each other hero you control gets plus X attack and plus X toughness until end of turn, where X is the Captain America's toughness. So his toughness is 1. So it's really good. He adds on to that aggressive attack as well. This is also a 5 out of 5, definitely. I'm liking how the white cards have a lot of first strike. That's really cool. It also has a lot of synergy with like ward and hexproof. It's really good. So these 2 cards, 5 out of 5. I would definitely craft them or try to get them as soon as you can. So here, hero in training. Creature human hero. When this creature enters, draw a card. If you control another hero, you gain 2 life. So it's 3 costs. It's a human hero. You play him, and then you get a card. And you also get 2 life. I mean, it's one way of drawing cards for sure. Typically, if you want to draw a card, you want to spend about 2 mana, but because you play 3 costs and you get a card and you get a monster, it's kind of good. I think this is a really good choice for quick draft, but because it also competes with the Captain Americas, this will definitely be a bit lower, so 4 out of 5. So next card we have the Kree Commandos, a 3 cost creature, 3 soldier villain. It has flying, vigilance, and prowess. Guys, cards with prowess have a tendency to really get like out of hand. And especially this one, it has vigilance. It's really good, and it has a lot of keywords. I think that there's a lot of potential with this card, and there's some ways where some monsters can literally copy like a key card, like the key cards, and I think it's good. I'd give this 4 out of 5. And also it's common, so it's good for quick draft. So next one, Quake, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. 3 cost legendary creature, Inhuman spy hero. It has a special ability called Seismic Takedown. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, tap target creature or land. That's kinda good. That's usually good. It's the type of card that pays off in like the second or third turn after playing it. It doesn't really have an immediate effect though, but sometimes it has like what you need, you know? So I give this card probably 3 out of 5. The next card is the Red Guardian Super Soldier. I don't know why, but that kind of looks like... He kind of looks like an evil Captain America. He's a legendary creature, human soldier villain with flash. When Red Guardian enters, destroy target creature and opponent controls. That dealt damage this turn. Okay, so... okay, so... say someone attacks you with a monster. You take the damage, and then you play Red Guardian, and then he gets destroyed. So it's kind of good. It's like a revenge tactic. I would give him maybe 4 out of 5. Just cause I'm really not sure how good it is. Now we have Okoye Dora Milaje Leader, which is a legendary creature, human warrior hero. When Okoye enters, create 2 white soldier creature tokens. Attacking creature tokens you control have first strike. It costs 4, but it's really good. And the scary thing here is that it makes all the tokens you have get first strike. I know for a fact that some people will probably start using her on an elf deck just to have that first strike. I think this is really good, and I would give this 5 out of 5 because it has a lot of potential. So next we have the Sentry Golden Guardian. He is a legendary creature, human hero, with flying, vigilance, and indestructible. So for the cost of 4, I mean, you look at this, there's already so many stats on him. He's 5/5, he's flying, vigilance, indestructible. He's really good. But here's the catch. When he enters, target opponent creates the Void, a legendary 5/5 black horror villain creature, token with flying, indestructible, and the Void attacks each combat if able. So it's a little bit of a risk because like you play him and then now there's the Void. So there's a little bit of a risk. Now the only upside here is that, I mean, he has vigilance, so he could still attack and still defend the Void next turn. That's probably the one upside, but there could be some weird things that happen because of this. I think I give him 4 out of 5, only because there's a negative effect of giving the enemy a monster. And you don't really know what could happen if you do that. Next we have the Wakandan Drone Flock, which is an artifact creature, robot. Flying, when this creature enters, scry 2. I mean, this just has quick draft all over it, really. When it comes down to 4 mana, usually a scry isn't strong enough. But for quick draft, it's quite good. I give this a 3 out of 5. Now we have the White Widow Free Agent, a legendary creature, human hero villain. When White Widow enters, choose one. Put a counter on each up of 2 target creatures, or return target artifact or enchantment from your graveyard to your hand. Yeah, this is quite good. It has a lot of uses. I think it would do quite well in a green deck, and in general, I give this 4 out of 5. I'd say that so far, all of the cards have been really good, by the way. The next one is Avengers Assemble, which is a 5-cost enchantment, and it's mythic. It has flash, and all of the heroes you get +2/+2 at the beginning of each end step. If you attacked with a hero this turn, or a hero entered the battlefield under your control during this turn, draw a card. So for a 5 cost, I think it is pretty good because it gives all of the heroes +2. And that's a really nice ability.
Well, but hope you have been having fun with the new set of MTG called Yo Clap.
Wow, thank you, Cringy. Thank you for the DDs. That's okay if you have to rest, no problem. I hope I'll catch you soon. I hope you have a nice rest and have a nice day. I'm doing a card review, so I'll continue, okay? So the last card that is mono white is Invisible Woman, Sue Storm, with 5 costs. She is a legendary creature, human hero, with lifelink. Whenever you put 1 or more counters on 1 or more other heroes you control, you may create a 0/4 colorless wall creature token with Defender. The crazy thing about this is that it says whenever you put 1 or more counters on 1 or more heroes. That's really good, and I think there is some really good synergy with Invisible Woman and Agent Coulson, because maybe you'd be able to trigger this multiple times. So I give her a 5 out of 5. A really good card. Actually, the one downside is that she costs 5, so by the time you can actually play her, it might be a bit too late. So I'm gonna bump her down a little bit to 4 out of 5, just because of that. So 5 out of 5, and then -1 point, because she's a bit slow. So that's it for the mono white, and then we're gonna go and check the golden cards for white as well. So here we have Super Scroll. Oh, hold on, not Super Scroll. Captain America, Living Legend, and different Captain America. That is 1 white, 1 blue, 1 colorless. Is a legendary creature of human soldier hero with vigilance. Whenever a creature you control becomes tapped during your turn, if it's the first time that creature has become tapped this turn, untap it. So in a way, that will kind of really help with cards like Agent Coulson to help anyone who wants to attack. It will just untap them again. Because his stats are so good as well, 3/4, I have no choice but to give him 5 out of 5. This is a really good card, but it's more defensive compared to the other 2 Captain Americas. Next we have Mighty 4 Jane Foster. Same cost with Captain America, 1 blue, 1 white, and colorless, 1 colorless. She's a legendary creature, human god hero, flying, and whenever the Mighty 4 attacks, exile up to 1 target non-token artifact or creature. Then return that card to the battlefield tapped under its owner control. Whenever an equipment you control enters, draw a card. I think this is really good. A lot of the enter the battlefield stuff really adds up, and if you are able to trigger it often, you can win the game easily. So because of that, I'm giving her a score of 4 out of 5. Next we have Spider-Woman Secret Agent. Legendary creature, Spider-Woman Spy Hero. She costs 4 white, and it could be like 1 white or 1 blue, and then 3 colorless. When Spider-Woman enters, tap target creature an opponent controls. That creature can't become untapped for as long as you control Spider-Woman. So she kind of has like a stun ability, you know? I think that's kind of good. Yeah, and that probably has a lot of use if you can use the ETB combo with Thor as well. So I would say yes, it's quite good. I would give her 3 out of 5, only because she costs quite a bit to use. Next we have the Gleaming Bastion. It's a land where you add 1 colorless, or you can also add 1 white or 1 blue. Activate only if this land entered this turn, or if you control a basic land. It's pretty good. I think a lot of people can use the card, because at least it adds something, as opposed to just being tapped. I would give this maybe 3 out of 5. It's usable, but it could be better. It could have something like a scry, or like add life or deal damage. I think those are a little bit better. Winter Soldier Icy Assassin. This is a 2-cost, 1 black, 1 white legendary creature with human assassin villain. It has vigilance and menace. When Winter Soldier gets +2 for each equipment attached to him. He gets +2 for each equipment attached to him. Then he has an ability where you can spend 5 mana with 1 black and 1 white to return the card from the graveyard to the battlefield with a finality counter on him. Then you can attach an equipment you control to him. It's pretty good, and I think there's probably some good synergies with equipment. I would say I'd give him probably 3 out of 5. Then we have Cloak and Dagger Entwined. She's 3 costs with 1 black, 1 white, a legendary creature human hero with Death Touch and Lifelink. When Cloak and Dagger enters, choose target opponent and up to 1 target creature they control. They reveal their hand. You may exile a non-land card from their hand or the chosen creature, and the Cloak and Dagger leave the battlefield. It's quite good. It's like a mixture of duress and a lot of those exile type of cards. It's really good, I think. If you can play cards like Cloak and Dagger, and then the Bat, and then Duress, I would say Cloak and Dagger has 5 out of 5 potential, for sure. Now we have the Kingpin of Crime, same cost as Cloak and Dagger, 3 mana with 1 black, 1 white, a legendary creature, human villain. Now he has a brand new skill called Extort, and it says here, whenever you cast a spell, you may pay 1 black or white, and if you do, each opponent loses 1 life, and you gain that much life. Whenever you attack, you may pay 2 life. If you do, until the end of the turn, creatures you control with toughness greater than their power assign combat damage equal to their toughness rather than their power. So he would make cards like that are like 1-5 or 0-0-4. He would make them really strong. I think this comes at like a price though, obviously, because you have to pay 2 life, and also it's kind of like a niche strategy. I would give him probably 3 out of 5. He's not entirely bad because he is a 1-5 and he can still block a lot, but he's just not that great. Then we have US Agent John Walker. I think he's supposed to be like a Captain America style hero. He costs 4 with 1 black or white. When US Agent enters, create a colorless equipment artifact token named Sturdy Shield with equipped creature gets +1 and +2 and equip 2, and then attach it to the US Agent. So that will make him basically a 4-4. So there's definitely some synergies with John Walker and also the Winter Soldier Icy Assassin. But for what he does, you know, I don't think he does really good. I would give him 3 out of 5, maybe even 2 out of 5. I think he might not be that great. Next we have War Machine Legacy of Iron, which is 3 cost mana with 1 red or white legendary artifact creature. He has flying. At the beginning of combat on your turn, another creature you control gets +X and +0 until end of the turn, where X is War Machine's power. So he just gives an extra like damage for probably your 2 cost or 1 cost monster. I think it's okay, but probably not the best thing for a free cost card, especially for red and white. There's a lot of good cards fighting for that position at free cost, like the Captain America. He's definitely more of a support character in this, and because of that, he's probably more 3 out of 5. Next we have the Superhero Civil War, which is an enchantment saga that costs 5 with 1 blue and 1 red. 1 white and 1 red. It has 3 different stages in a saga. The first one is gain control of up to 2 target creatures with total mana value 6 or less for as long as the saga remains on the battlefield. So that lets you steal a monster. And then creatures you control get +1/+1 and gain vigilance until end of turn. And after that, target creature you control fights up to 1 other target creature. So it's kind of slow for what it does. And I've kind of noticed that a lot of the sagas now are a bit slower, kind of like the Avatar sagas, like Legend of Kuruk and things like that. So it's probably within its theme because they noticed that sagas have been really strong, especially the Final Fantasy ones are very strong. So they wanted to slow it down a bit. I think this is probably a 4 out of 5. It does add a little bit of tempo when you're playing white and red on that 5-drop. But when you play a 5-drop on white and red, there's a lot of other good cards as well, like angels. So I would give this just 4 out of 5. It's not the best, but it is quite good and it adds a lot of value. So after that, you have Thor Odinson, which is a 5-cost legendary creature with 1 white and 1 red. He's got flying, vigilance, prowess. So yeah, I think anything with prowess is really strong. He's really got that potential to do a lot of damage. So I give him 5 out of 5. Next we have Spider-Man to the rescue, which is free cost with white or green mana. He's a legendary creature, spider human hero. He has flash, vigilance, and reach. So, you know, a lot of the spiders in this game have reach, so that's kind of like the theme. He's got a special ability called No One Dies. When Spider-Man enters, you may tap him, and when you do, another target non-attacking creature you control gains indestructible until end of turn. So he makes your monster who's defending basically indestructible. I think this is really good because it's really hard to find a flash card that's green, first of all. It's really rare. And you could potentially make your green monster with lifelink, or, you know, make your white monster with lifelink or whatever really strong. So this is 5 out of 5. Spider-Man is 5 out of 5. You could do this. You could set his ability on like a single token that has Death Touch and then make him defend and he won't die. So it's really good. Now we have Nick Fury. We don't have this card. I'll just craft it real quick. So the cards that we're missing from our packs, we'll just craft. Or... uh-oh. Okay, I'm not gonna craft them because they disappear. So we'll just read them. I'll craft them later. So now we have Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., a 1-cost legendary creature, human spy hero. He's got a special ability called Power Up, where you use white, blue, black, red, and green mana, and you put 2+1/+1 counters on Nick Fury. Then you look at the top 7 cards of your library. You may put a hero, equipment, or vehicle card from among them onto the battlefield. If it's a double face card, you may transform it. Put the rest of the bottom on your library in a random order. So I think Nick Fury is definitely 5 out of 5. Kinda gives that Shrines kind of vibe to me, you know? I think he's really good for Commander. Definitely 5 out of 5 for Commander. For regular mode, not so much. Only because he's only 1 cost and he's 2/1. It takes too long to kind of get set up, probably on normal modes. But 5 out of 5 Commander, maybe 3 out of 5 for normal modes. Okay, so things have mixed up a bit, so let me pick up my bearings here. Okay, so Monica Rambeau. She is a free cost legendary creature, human hero, mythic, with flying and prowess. And then she can transform with 5 mana with 2 white and 1 red. She becomes Photon Living Light, which is flying, hexproof, prowess, 4 out of 4, 4 attack and toughness. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put a +1 counter on each other creature you control. Oh, okay, that's kinda good, but to get to that point, you have to spend so much mana. She does have prowess though, so if we just look at her, and we just look at her base card, I would say she's quite powerful. I would say that she is probably still maybe like 5 out of 5. Because for free cost, there's a lot of other good cards. So it's really hard to compete. So maybe she's still 4 4 out of 5. No. Then we have King T'Challa, which is a free cost with one white and white blue. Legendary creature, human noble hero. He has flash. Whenever a player draws their second card each turn, you draw a card. So he kind of counters people who would like to draw lots of cards. And you can transform him with 6 mana, 1 white, 1 blue, and he becomes Black Panther with double strike, prevents all damage that would be dealt to Black Panther. Whenever Black Panther deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. So he's really strong, he prevents all the damage. Not exactly indestructible, but he just gets rid of everything. I give him probably 4 out of 5. His stats are kind of low, and his ability is a good counter, but I'm not sure if that's really the best card to play, so 4 out of 5. Okay, so we have a land here, Avengers Hangar. It enters tap and you gain 1 life. That's 3 out of 5. It's basic. Now we have double Black Widow, double agent, a free cost with 1 black, 1 white. Legendary creature with human hero villain. She has Death Touch, and whenever a creature you control attacks alone, it gains First Strike and Menace. Wow, I think they're really trying to build up the samurai type of playstyle for white and black. I think this is probably quite good, only because it adds First Strike and also Menace. So if they end up defending anyway with 2 monsters, you would still First Strike them, and you would probably still win and survive. So I definitely give her 5 out of 5 for that. Then we have Fisk Tower. It's a black and white land that enters tapped and you gain 1 life. 3 out of 5. Now you have Daredevil, Man Without Fear. He is 4 costs with 1 white, 1 red. He's a legendary creature, human hero. He has vigilance and haste. He's got a special ability called Radar Sense. You may look at the top card of your library anytime. Whenever you attack, you may exile the top card of your library. If that card is a hero card, Daredevil gets +2 and +1 until end of turn. You may play that card this turn. Wow, so there's a lot of heroes, so I think this is really good. And the thing is, he gets +2, +1 regardless whether you play him or not. I think this card adds a lot of good tempo for that rush red tactics. So I give him probably a 4 out of 5 here. It's a bit RNG, it's a bit random, so 4 out of 5. If it wasn't random, maybe I would give him 5 out of 5. Then we have Asgardian Citadel, which is a land and enters tapped, and you gain 1 life. 3 out of 5. But the art looks nice though, so yeah. Then we have Black Panther Vanguard. Whenever another non-token hero you control enters, choose 1. Create a 1/1 white soldier creature token. Creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. So it only works for non-token hero. And he also costs 4. and the stats are 4-4. If his stats were 5-5, I would give him 4 out of 5. But because of this, I think he's only 3 out of 5. He's not that good. No, I don't think he's that good. It sounds powerful though, because it does say it's a whenever skill. So it sounds powerful, but I'm not sure it's that good, to be honest. Now we have Storm Windrider. She is 4 costs with 2 white and 1 forest green. She's a legendary creature mutant hero. You know, I was wondering where the X-Men were. We just didn't get any, so we'll have to craft her eventually. She has flying. Creatures with flying can't attack you or block creatures you control. Whenever you cast a spell that targets one or more creatures, those creatures gain flying until end of turn. So she basically hates on flying monsters. You know, I've seen some pretty good flying monster decks. This is probably like a card to put in your side deck or something. She's kind of okay. I would give her... No, hold on. It says whenever you cast a spell that targets one or more creatures, that creature gains flying until end of turn. So she could potentially make the whole board fly. So maybe 3.5 out of 5. Not entirely the best card, but yeah. Then we have Burnin Zano Plaza, which is a land. You gain 1 life, 3 out of 5. Gathering Place, just another land. Then we have Thanos, the Mad Titan, which is red, white, and black, 3 costs. He's an eternal villain with Death Touch and Lifelink. He can power up, put 2 +1/+1 counters on Thanos, choose odd or even, destroy each other creature with mana value of the chosen quality. Okay, so he's a little bit tricky to summon, right? Because he's got red, white, and black. So that often pushes him to like a 4-turn card. Sometimes. But say you were lucky and you got all the nice lands that you needed, then I think he's really good because he's got Death Touch and Lifelink. This is a 5 out of 5 card. It's really good. Definitely really good. If you can get him quicker, it'll be even better. So that's the end of the golden cards for white. I'd love to hear what you think about it. You know, which white card is your favorite, or which of your double color card was your favorite? My one was definitely Captain America. I think that was the best one. And let me show you it once more. Here. I think this is the best one of the whole set. If you enjoyed today's white color review, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to join the Lunanites. We still have other colors to explore as well, so there's plenty more magic to come. So thank you again for spending a little bit of your day with me. Okay, until next time, and take care. I'll see you in the next color review. Bye bye now.